We on, we hold up this vision, living through.
Big hugs, everyone, and welcome to Pass the Mic. Thank you for joining me as we welcome in the incomparable Rev Judy Ann Young for part 2 of Living a Big Game. Reverend Judy, what did you just say?
God is not hiding your good from you.
Come on now.
It is, people will say, "Ooh, Lord, I just need some overtime." I don't need no overtime. Because look, I don't care if the money fall off the back of a wagon and it has Judy Ann wrote on it. It's mine.
Exactly.
This God consciousness that we live in.
Yes.
That keeps this world spinning on its axis.
On its axis.
And it keeps the seasons rotating
Constantly.
constantly. The flowers, we buy into that. Oh, it's a depression. Look outside.
Yeah.
The trees are still in bloom.
Still in bloom.
Nobody told them it was a depression.
They didn't believe it.
They didn't believe it.
No.
I no longer struggled about paying bills.
Okay.
I remember, this is a true story. I was like 27 years old. And out of the blue, I said out loud, by the time I'm 30, I'm going to be making $30,000 a year. And I kind of looked around and I just hung on to that thought. Well, by the time I was 30, I was making $32,000 a year. And mind you, that was a long time ago. That was some money back then. What I did was I spoke my word and I declared it without having any evidence that supported that. But what I know now is the moment you declare something authentically and set the intention, the universe will allow everything to come together to support that. Because what ended up happening was I went into that apprenticeship in the oil industry.
Okay.
And at the time that I declared I was going to be making $30,000 a year,
Yeah.
that program didn't even exist.
Come on.
I have declared other things. Since living here in Las Vegas, my husband had a red pickup truck. And someone stole the pickup truck.
Oh, not the red pickup truck.
They stole his favorite red pickup truck.
It's a great truck.
And he came in and said that someone stole my truck. So the next couple of days I asked him about it. And he finally turned to me, and he's a mild-mannered man. He said, "Kitten, the truck is gone. It's just gone." And I stopped and I looked at him and I said, "Do you want the truck back?" "Well, no." It's a yes or no. "Do you?" "Yes, I want my truck back." I said, and so it is. Went to bed. The next day was a Sunday morning. I was getting ready to go to church. The phone rings. My husband's, "Yeah?" He said, "That was the police department. They have my truck."
Go ahead.
And I said, "Oh, ye of little faith." And he looked at me like, "What you know that I don't know?"
What you talking about, Willis?
And my husband was saying afterwards, "Well, what happened?" I said, "You must always remember, that which is divinely yours, no one can take from you. Or they can borrow it.
Yeah.
But when you know the absolute truth,
Yes.
nobody can take that from you."
Nobody. These are pearls of wisdom. I love this.
And that's a true story. I've told that story in several sermons because people always, "Well, they took this now, then that wasn't yours."
Okay.
Let it go.
Let it go.
It came and it was in your life for a while. Let it go.
Right.
Because that which is rightly yours, nobody can take from you.
I love that. You're talking universal laws and principles
Absolutely.
that are absolute. They don't change depending on who's in office, who's not in office.
None of that.
We don't get to vote on it.
No.
It is the absolute. And so listening to you, your ministry, because I can hear the ministry in you. How do you reach out to people now?
That's a good question. A lot of my ministry is focused around motorcycle riding. I'm chaplain to my Las Vegas Buffalo Soldier
Really?
chapter. And I support some other organizations.
Okay.
And a lot of the ministry I do on the side of the road.
Wow.
Where people may have them a shot of Crown Royal and a blunt in the other hand. I have no judgment about that.
Right.
And a lot of my ministry, I do it just being who I am every day.
Yes.
Because people will say, I want some of that in my life.
Yes. They see how you live. And she lives extremely well. She and her husband both, they live very well, well-traveled.
Well,
you guys live good.
I live very well, and I'm unapologetic about it.
I don't blame you.
I
Come on
am
now.
unapologetic.
Yes.
I remember someone saying to me, you a minister and you driving a Mercedes? I said, and if you trust God like I do, you could have you two of them. See,
exactly.
God is not glorified by poverty. I don't know where we got that
Where
story
that came from.
This is what I say. Appreciate what you have where you are, and more will be added unto you. What you appreciate appreciates.
You know,
That's gratitude.
It is.
See, you have to be grateful. If you're not grateful for the old car with the window that won't roll down,
the air conditioner that won't come on.
the air conditioning that won't come on. Because, you know, people look at how I live now.
Yeah.
I have always been grateful. And along with gratitude is just like breathing. You inhale and you exhale. For everything I take in, I share.
Oh, beautiful.
I give out.
Beautiful.
I donate to some charities. I donate to some churches.
Okay.
I give to people in need because if you don't learn how to share a little, trust me, you're not going to share out of a lot.
People will not hit the lotto. No, if you can't help someone, and it doesn't necessarily always mean monetary.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's spending some time. Sometimes it may be taking a person, driving them from A to B. It's the heart of giving, just of givingness that is there.
Here is what I will say, because the way I look at money and the way I understand it, it is just another form of energy. And I tend to notice when people are selfish. You know, if you have $100 and you can't give someone $10, guess what? When you get 100,000, you're not going to give someone 1,000.
Oh no.
Because the gift of tithing starts right where you are. There's never, well, tomorrow I'm going to give. No, give today.
Yes.
Have faith that more will come. I got a call yesterday out of the blue and said, hey, call me, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out someone had left me some money.
Oh, look at that.
And could I have expected it? No.
No.
But what I know is I sow seeds. And I learned this from my mother. All those potatoes that she put under the house,
Yes.
we never ate all of them. Some we cut up and we planted them for the next harvest.
Wow.
See, anything you give, you're actually planting seeds for more good to come into your life.
Yes.
But you have to give willingly.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And here's a big piece. People say, well, I'm not giving so no minister can drive around in a Cadillac. I don't think that's why we give.
I don't think so either.
Because here's the deal. If you show me any good minister, I'll show you someone that never has a day off. Because ministry is one of those jobs where you're never not a minister.
Exactly.
People call me and say, well, I got a message this morning. I don't want anyone to know, but my daughter's having surgery. Will you pray for her?
Yeah.
Her name is such and such and such.
Yes.
Someone else will call and say, I lost my job. Will you know the truth from me?
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm always praying for somebody, calling someone and lifting them up,
Yes.
speaking my word and declaring something good, not just for myself, but for other people.
Yes.
One of my favorite scriptures is Isaiah 55:11. It says, I send my word out to do that thing I commanded to do, knowing it does not come back void. See, when you speak your word with intention, with faith, with knowingness, it's not going to come back void.
Absolutely.
Because what I know is everything, and this is that vibration. They say that fever, that fever that I have.
Yes.
I know. I get up looking for the miracles in life, expecting a miracle, because life is a miracle.
Yes, it is. Every day.
Every day.
Every single day.
Every day. Like, people call me, how you doing? I say, it's a wonderful day to be me. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Wait a minute. I like it. That's a good story.
That's a good
That's
story.
a good story.
It's a wonderful day to be me.
You know, I just want to touch on the tithing, because that's a big part for people.
It is.
And I too have had my moments of tithing. I've believed in tithing. I've not believed in tithing. And tithing for me, I'm coming to a space that I tithe more than just in money. I tithe in my time. I tithe in my joy. I tithe in my prayer time. When people look at a church, if you're going there and you're being fed, to give back to where you're being fed is nothing different than when you go to the grocery store and you buy food that feeds you and your family. You are tithing when you pay at the counter.
That's it.
When you have a mobile cell phone, I love my phones. I love my gadgets. When the bill comes, I am tithing back because they have allowed me to have service.
Absolutely.
Before I paid the bill.
Yes.
I mean, these are the things I'm just coming to understand, that this way of looking at tithing, that's so much bigger. It's not about me giving a little 10 or 20%, whatever that people want to put a percentage on it. But it is about giving from the heart space of absolute knowing that it is a joy.
It is a joy.
It is a joy.
I do a lot of work in the community. I shot a video. It was less than 3 minutes. I went live on Facebook.
Okay.
And I was at elementary school, and I was filming it in the hallways of this school because it had come to my attention that there were little girls showing up there without underwear on.
Oh my goodness.
And that was my response.
Okay.
And I was like, well, how is this happening?
Right.
Well, it's one of the few schools in Las Vegas that takes homeless children.
Oh.
And so
wow.
I shot this video and I said, Las Vegas, we can do better than this.
Yes.
Well, a friend of mine who lives in an exclusive neighborhood saw the video and played it for her women's organization. These women went out and bought 300 pair of panties and took them over to the school.
Wow.
So that when little girls show up and they don't have panties, y'all have a surplus of panties. So we did some things there, and this summer I was talking to the vice principal, Miss Edmonds, and I said, how can we support you for Christmas?
Yes.
For Christmas. And she said, well, a lot of our children don't have coats. So again, I went out to the community, and the same women's organization, they gave me a check for $500 toward buying coats for these children. And the Buffalo Soldiers, we got together and we ended up providing 160 coats to these children.
That's beautiful.
So if you think that you have not to give, what I have found out is I don't ask people to give me money.
Okay.
You go buy the coat.
Okay.
And I'll take it over there to the school. And we'll try it on little Jane and Sally and Joe.
Yeah.
And you can come and even watch.
Right.
You know, but we have to be willing to be our brother's keeper.
Yes. Because we're all in this thing together.
I don't care what they tell you. We're in it together.
We are.
And you know how I know that we know we're in it together? When there is an attack on America, like after 9/11,
Oh, yeah.
everybody got a flag in their front yard. As soon as the threat is over, we started to do this.
Yes.
We went back to our individual camps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna stay in the middle of the road. Like my philosophy at this point in life is, I don't need to be right. I just need to be loved. So I no longer argue with folks about, well, I know I'm right.
Right.
I don't argue with people about who lives in the White House.
Okay.
What church you go to.
Yes.
Because the bottom line is, all of these roads feed into the same path.
Yes.
And that is into a relationship with your God.
Yes.
The God of your understanding. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yes.
There's this thing called being religious and being spiritual.
Yes.
These are doctrines and dogmas.
Yes.
But there's something called spiritual intelligence. That is the intelligence that resides in you and is actually your higher self. That is the super ego.
I like
See, the
that.
little ego is
Yeah.
that little guy that's running things as you not speaking to your relatives
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you are right and they are sinners. But spiritual intelligence is what makes the rest of your life go around. It is the direct connection between your mental and your heart. That's the spiritual intelligence. That's the intelligence that allows you to not take it personal,
Wow.
to step over yourself. I had a incident happen recently. I was on a flight to the Bay Area,
Okay.
and I'm sitting on the plane, no one else in the row, and I'm looking out the window and playing with my phone. And I hear this voice say, "Is this seat taken?" And I said, "Oh, I saved it for you." And her response was, "I'm not talking, I have a book to read." And she shakes the book at me.
Oh my goodness.
And she sat down. Now, there was a time that would have provoked something in me.
Yes.
But what came up is my mind ran the gamut and my spiritual intelligence kicked in. And I said, this is really not about me.
Right.
And I looked over at her and she had her back toward me, sitting sideways in the seat, talking to a man and two women across the aisle. She never opened the book. I had a question, and my question was, I need to broach her with this
Right.
because I'm not willing to take this away and make up a story about it.
Okay.
So when the plane landed, I stood up and I said, "Can I ask you a question?" "Yes." I said, "You announced to me that you weren't talking, you were reading your book." I said, "Was there something in my demeanor that led you to believe that I wanted to talk to you?" I said, "I'm just curious because I couldn't understand why you would say that." I said, and I was ready to make up a story about what that meant. And given this climate in our country where we're hypersensitive racially, culturally, sexually, politically, I didn't want to make up a story.
Yes.
And she said, "Oh, no, I'm so sorry. That didn't land right. Oh, but you know, he was engaged and I just felt like I needed to talk to them." And I said, "And you never opened your book?" "Well, I had 12 pages left to read and I really wanted to finish it." I said, "I was just curious. Was there something in me and my demeanor as I was looking out the window that made you think I really wanted to talk to you?" I said, "I'm just wanting to know so that I can correct me."
Wow.
That was such a growth moment for me.
That is huge.
Because the people around were looking
And
listening. And I could feel that there was an attitude of wanting to jump in. And so the man that she had been talking to, "What is her question?" And he says it to me. He says, "What is your question?" And I said, "Ask your friend." And I was in a very loving space. I didn't make up a story about it.
I love that. It's so easy for us to make up a story.
Oh yeah, because see,
I do it all
the
the
committee
time.
in my head.
Yes.
The committee had convened.
Yes.
Oh, the chairman of the board was there. I had to go in with a big stick and say, "Look, this is not what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is not about you. It's not a black and a white thing."
Right.
Because in my mind, there was an opportunity for me to feel polarized. But my spiritual intelligence
Yes.
said,
Yes.
let's educate.
Yes.
Let's accept responsibility and ask the question, what was there in my demeanor that led you to believe that I wanted to talk to you? That I would interrupt you? I said, I travel all the time. And you know what she asked me? She says, well, what do you do for a living? I said, I'm a minister and a professional storyteller. And she said, oh, okay. And I could see her, and I said, it's okay. I said, but I just really wanted to know. And she was very apologetic.
Of course.
But it was an opportunity for her to learn how she was showing up in the world.
Exactly.
I didn't want her to feel bad, but I wanted her to be conscious. And I told her, I said, because I was making up a story, and I don't want to do that.
I just love that you recognize that.
That's it. I was making up a story.
That's so big because I think I would have come away with the story of like, this heifer,
Absolutely.
To be able to, like you said, that spiritual intelligence that kicked in, that said,
kicked in.
slow it down, breathe, where you could, even the question that you asked, I'm sure she wasn't prepared for that
She
question.
was so not prepared for that question.
Because that put it, you took all the responsibility.
I took all the responsibility.
What a beautiful gift that you gave her.
I gave her the gift. And what I know is she is forever transformed.
Forever.
Because she felt she was putting me in my place initially.
Yes.
Except she didn't realize I don't have a place. I'm everywhere, ever present. I am the face of God showing
Yes, you
up.
are. And I'm looking forward to having Rev Judy Ann back again because you do an enormous work out in the world.
Absolutely.
You still rolling on your bike. I mean, what, a couple of days you rode from Vegas to Phoenix?
Yeah, last Wednesday I rode to Phoenix and we were there for 5 days, overlaying my Christian doctrine with religious science, with astrology, with Egyptology, and all of these things that just come together and make me juicy, baby.
Yeah, juicy.
It's the stuff that gives me fever.
Give me a fever. She's right on cue. Well, I'm going to have information below on you. Anything that you want to share, we'll have that below. I want you to go and check out and find information and explore this amazing woman that's living life full on, feeling the fever. Let's sing our song.
Okay.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever. When you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning and fever all through the night. Fever all through the night. One more time. Fever all through the night. All right. Reverend Judy Ann, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It was a joy. Absolute joy. Remember, we are one. We hold a vision. We are creating our here and now. Just you and me.
That's it.
Just you and me.
There's only one of us having this thing called life. It's called you and me.
Hey now, I love it. I'll see you next week on Pass the Mic.
Go out and live your best life ever. Peace.